So after talking with two people from Fidelity, I call again in order to ask questions related to open account. And also after talking with him, I keep repeating the same questions from the previous video that you saw. But I just, like I said, I'm just hard-headed. I want to make sure I hear another knowledgeable person explain it to me over and over again. I was in a better way to just, you know, accept the true or the reality that I won't be able to contribute anything until I start working and have a W-2, W whatever, or 1099 and make that happen. But right now, since I still qualified to open a brokerage account, I already created and also put money and also bought some stocks in different company. And I used I actually opened two accounts. First one with Fidelity and the second one with Robinhood. And yeah, that's pretty much for whatever I want to share with you guys, and hope that all that question I keep repeating help you to understand it better.
All right. Be happy to help you out here. And you did reach me in the investment solutions team, so I do help with new accounts as well as planning and guidance. So definitely happy to help. What type of account are we looking to open?
I actually tried to create an account with you guys, and then it's asked me, the brokerage account, and it asked me it's like core positions for a money market fund or treasury or interest-bearing options. I don't know, what does that mean?
Yeah, good question. So basically, your core position is where cash will be held when it's not invested. So think of it like a wallet. Basically, it's like what holds your cash. And those positions, like a government money market invests in like government securities, like bonds. Basically, the point of it is to make it very safe because you want your cash to be safe. So that's one of the investments that they choose inside of a money market. They don't really return any interest because there's no real interest paying in the bond environment right now. But yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. So which one is the option I should choose? I don't really know.
To be quite honest with you, it doesn't matter too much. They're all safe and they're all paying pretty much next to 0% interest. It's all very minimal. So to be honest, it doesn't really matter. You can pick one.
Oh, so it's like, so basically if I do invest anything, no earning anything? Is that what you said?
Correct. It's basically just for holding cash, right? So before you invest the money just sits there in cash until you choose an investment.
Okay.
And then, depending on what you put the money into, like in terms of the investment, then it will. But when it sits in cash, it pretty much doesn't do anything.
Oh, okay. So what is different between government and treasury terms? So it's nothing different in what you said. So I just use whatever.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same. I mean, yeah, ultimately they're almost identical.
Okay. And then because I don't really know what type of account I should open right now, because I try to do some type of investment account, but I'm not sure which one I qualify.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'd be happy to kind of go through that with you. But as far as just the account or investing goes, what is your plan? What are you saving for?
First of all, will be since I'm kind of young right now, I think I would love to save for a big purchase in the future, for a home investment. Home purchase, and also long term would be a retirement account as well.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, and that's definitely something we can help you out with. I tell you what, let me do this. Do you have accounts with Fidelity already, or is this your first one?
It's the first one. I'm trying to create that right now, but like I said, I didn't know the difference, so I'm trying to finish it up.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, that is what my group does. I work with planning and guidance. So we're here to help with your investment decisions, basically. So let me kind of start by just breaking down the different types of accounts. You can choose a retirement account for longer term, like retirement goals. That's going to be something where you can put money into it, and either depending on the account type, it grows either tax-free or tax-deferred. Have you saved for retirement anywhere else yet, or is this your first time?
I have two answers for that. So first one, I don't want to have a misconceptions, but I do invest my money in the IUL with WFG. I think it's just a life insurance. It's not retirement account.
Okay.
And then second, I'm an international student, so I'm not sure I qualify in order to. I do have social security number though, so I'm not sure I qualify to open any of them.
Okay, I got you. So are you in the United States?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so you can open accounts. Really, as far as the regulations go, if you're out of the country, you can't really buy into certain products, like a mutual fund, for example, but you can see where you're at in the world at that particular point in time. It's kind of complicated, but basically, if you're in the United States, you're fine.
Okay. So, yeah, that's why I was trying to open, because to be honest, it's 3 different people say different things every single time, and then I'm really confused. Because earlier today, during the day, I called, and another lady, she told me that I would qualify in order to open the Roth IRA, because I was planning to open it. And then she transferred me to another guy, and he said I won't able to. I mean, I can open an account, but I won't able to contribute because I don't have annual income because I don't work right now.
Gotcha. Okay. And that does make sense. So let me kind of explain that. So what he's talking about is, in order to make contributions into a retirement account, you have to have some sort of earned income, basically from working. You can open an account just fine, but in order to make those contributions, you have to have a job, or at least get some sort of earned income. Now, that being said, with a regular non-retirement brokerage account, you can just put that money in. It doesn't matter what type of money it is, whether it's inheritance, earned income, or from some other source. That's something that they don't regulate, like as far as the like working versus non-working money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be your best option if you're not working right now.
Which one?
You have some extra cash that you want to save. The individual brokerage account.
Okay, the one that you can actually trading stocks and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And technically, you can trade stocks in any of them, but it comes down to, can you contribute, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's the account that, if you're not working, you can still save in, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I really don't know that much about stocks.
No, that's okay. That's what we're here for.
So they do provide educational training or courses if you actually open an account, or we have to really learn by ourselves in order to do that?
Good question. So there are some resources on Fidelity.com that can kind of teach you the basics. And actually, you can get it as advanced with it as you want. They do have courses for intermediate and advanced people as well. But if you're just looking for some help with investing, like let's say you just have some money, you just want to invest it, and you might need a little help, that is what my group does. So if you don't want to necessarily spend all that time researching and you just need a little help, we can do that. Otherwise, if you do want to learn about the investing and the basics, there's a lot of resources online on Fidelity.com.
Yeah, my brain's already on fire for the last few hours, but try to do that.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a lot to learn, that's for sure. But yeah, does all that make sense? I mean, I want to make sure that answers your question.
Yes. So basically, okay, we open it and we just call you guys 24/7. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I mean, I think our group closes at midnight, but yeah, I mean, honestly, we're here most of the day.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Okay, because I've been hearing a lot of either Robinhood or this because one of my landlord, he's CPA, and he suggests me to open a Roth IRA. So, well, in the future, I mean, I will work, but it's like for this year, if you contributed in, because my parents actually send money from the country, so basically I have that, so I won't able to do it at all until I actually have the legit W-9 or W-2 when I start working.
Yeah.
Correct?
Exactly. Yeah, because you have to be able to report that income somehow.
Mm-hmm.
It usually is like a W-2.
But I worked last year.
Okay, so were you like did you get a W-2 or were you like?
I did for
contracting?
1099.
Oh, okay. So if you have a 1099 and you have income, I mean, so here's the thing though, you have to be able to prove that you are working in the year in which you make a contribution. So you can't be working last year, you have to have been working this year to contribute this year. You know what I mean? It's on a year by year basis.
Okay. Well, it's not qualified either way. Call me YT like YouTube.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so ultimately I just want to make sure, if you're planning on opening the account, I can help you do that, but it's all pretty straightforward. It sounds like you're pretty much done. That money market question is like the last step to open the account, but if you're opening an account, it's probably going to be best to open a regular brokerage account, just based on what we talked about.
Okay. So after I click on that and just, I think they also ask for something else, but
Yeah.
just read paperwork and then open account.
Yeah, exactly. How much are you looking to invest just to start?
Well, I'm the beginners. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Well,
I just mean,
somewhere less than 5,000.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, definitely just kind of starting out. And that's great. That's fantastic. So if you are looking for a little help with investment, like I said, you can always reach out to us, definitely. Otherwise, feel free to use those resources. Just want to make sure, does that answer everything you have for me for today?
Yeah, so basically the website will have a stock market, and then we just buy and trade and sell, something like that, right?
Correct, yeah. So you can buy stocks, you can do bonds, you can do mutual funds, ETFs, a bunch of different things. But if you are trading stocks, yeah, you can trade your stocks during the market hours. Basically.
I've been reading about mutual funds, but I really don't get what it's for.
Yeah, good question. So a mutual fund, you can think of it as like a basket, and in the basket is a bunch of different like stocks all put together, right? So it's all bundled together, so that way you're diversified. Diversification is a good way to kind of eliminate certain types of risk. So like think about if you put your money in one company and that company does poorly, that company's stock is going to go down. Whereas if you put it into a mutual fund, that money is in a bunch of different companies, so you kind of have a little bit more protection, if that makes sense. That's basically the concept of a mutual fund.
Okay, so you put in one basket, and it's delegated in different companies.
Exactly.
So like it's a better option to choose instead of buying one stock from the other one company specifically.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to make sure you're investing in a safer way. I mean, yes, stocks will give you a great opportunity. A lot of them typically grow faster than a mutual fund, but a lot of them also underperform mutual funds, or you can even lose money if you don't do enough research. You know what I mean? So it kind of saves you from having to be an expert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're not an analyst, then it's probably best to diversify and eliminate as much risk as you can.
Also, for the stock, if basically you put, for instance, you put 5,000 in there, and then you start buying stock from different companies, so you earn share from it, and when it's increased, you get. So, for instance, I buy a Apple stocks for 100, and it's increased to 150, And to avoid penalties, which is 10% from the government, I should just keep there to build a portfolio, right? Shouldn't take it out. Is that right?
In a brokerage account, meaning a non-retirement brokerage account, I think, so what you're referring to is called a capital gain, right? So your profit is called capital gains. You only pay taxes on that gain when you sell.
Yeah.
And that gain is taxed at whatever your income tax bracket is. So if you're not working, it's going to be at the lowest tax bracket. But conceptually, yes, that's exactly the way it works. You pay the taxes in the year in which you sell that stock for a profit.
Yeah, but if you don't sell it, you keep building your capitals in there.
Exactly, yeah. Because you're basically just delaying the tax, essentially. And are you asking?
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing. In a individual or in a non-retirement brokerage account, you're always going to pay those taxes.
Okay.
You know, so it just comes down to when. And there are strategies to mitigate that, but at the end of the day, when you sell for a profit, you're going to be taxed. That's just the way it is.
Okay.
And that's kind of why the retirement accounts are a good option if you're working, because then you can, in some instances, make a profit tax-free, depending on the type of account.
Can you actually transfer from the brokerage account to the retirement, or no?
You can, but you can't do it with stock for that
Okay.
specific purpose.
So at the end of the day, you will have to pay money if you earn something.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
They pretty much got it all figured out.
I thought there's a way, because people keep telling me, oh, don't sell it, or stuff like that. Then they didn't actually inform me that you have to pay no matter what. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Wow.
I mean, at the same time,
Well, it's free money anyway, so it's okay. You gotta share.
right.
Okay. Well, good
yeah,
to
does all that
know.
make sense, though?
Yes, absolutely. Well, with that, I will go ahead and actually open the brokerage account first, and then maybe next year when I qualify, I will do the retirement, because the age won't be that much of different, right? Because I know for the compound interest or the compound something, if you open late for the retirement account or life insurance, it just really reduce the money. But is that the same thing with the Roth IRA for that?
Yeah, I mean, anything where you invest or you're getting interest or return on your money, the more time you have, the better, right? Time is the ultimate factor in terms of your growth, because everything grows over time. So the more time you have, the more growth opportunities you have, basically. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. To be honest, I got my insurance license, so I know a little bit, but not that much like you guys. So just want to ask more questions to understand. But yeah, it totally makes sense. Well,
Perfect.
then
And
good to
what
know.
I'll say too, just so I can put some notes down. So are you opening the account online right now?
Correct?
Okay. Do me a favor. Go through that online. I want to stay on the phone with you just so I can put a note down once that account is created.
Sure.
That way, if you ever do have to call again, they can kind of pick up where we left off, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And then when you get your account number, just read it to me so I can pull you up.
Oh, so I gotta do it now?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but if you're doing it, then...
Yeah, I'm doing it. Just give me 1 sec, because I gotta read it. So yeah, I put in here not employed, investment industry, none. Certify your taxpayer. You are a U.S. citizen or other U.S. person defined in IRS Form W-9 instructions. I don't think I'm a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, I would just put, yeah.
They don't ask anything, they just ask, they just list it out.
Yeah. I mean, we have a group that does background checks based on publicly available information. So, if you're a teenager and you've never had any accounts before, then sometimes require documentation, but most of the time you're fine.
Okay. Please carefully documents. Usually, I don't think people read these documents.
Yeah.
No accounts. After create an account, would they actually send us those PDF, or we have to download by ourselves in order to keep track
so
for it?
basically, the way it works is all of that, everything that you're reading at the end there is all packaged into the customer agreement.
Mm-hmm.
The customer agreement is downloadable. You can actually search it now, saving them, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, because I'm sorry, almost hang up the phone. Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, take your time.
Oh my gosh, so 47 pages? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's probably why most people don't read it.
I don't think I'd be able. Prospectus. Okay. I don't think there's any trouble with this. Okay, so the account is Z for zebra.
Oh, okay. Let me type it out here. Hold on one second. Okay, go ahead.
Zebra 09.
Wonderful. Appreciate that. Get that pulled up here. It's loading. Okay. And then just real quick, since I got the account up, I just have to do a quick security step. Can I send a little text code to that phone number ending in 9829?
Yes.
Okay. Should be on the way. Just read that when you get it. I appreciate that. And then just for my phone line, would you mind just stating your name?
My name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Just whatever you have written, like whatever your name
Create
is.
an account?
I appreciate that. The only reason I asked for that is because if we're talking to you on the phone, we have to verify you through security to access the account. And I want to access the account so I can leave notes. So that way, if you call in, it's easier.
I see.
Basically pick up where we left off. So I appreciate you doing that. So
Yeah.
I will leave the notes of what we discussed. When you make the deposit and looking to do some investing, and if you're looking for help, like I said, just give us a call. We're more than happy to kind of help get you started, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So,
Thank you. Appreciate that.
yeah, my pleasure. Was that everything that you had for me for today?
That should be all. Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, it's my pleasure, and you have a wonderful rest of your evening, okay?
Thank you. You too. Bye bye. Good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, thank you for watching and have a good night.